already complaining that Jodie Whittaker's career is ruined by her being attached to Doctor Who, so now they want to tank her even further with this crap? And I'm okay with it. Hello, everyone. I am Mecha Random 42, the one, the only, the original, your favorite YouTube consumer advocate, Harpy. Still, hopefully, until they cancel me. And if you like my content and want to see me before they cancel me, please like, subscribe, share. All the sharing, that really, really helps the most. You know, the little swooshy Nike button that's like right under the video here. Only you can fight YouTube suppression, and who really do you want to win? Me or?
Please like the video if you liked it. If you didn't like it, keep your comments to yourself.
And all of us, any channel that goes against cancel culture, any channel that's labeled as wrong think, any channel in your wheelhouse, in your community, any channel in your fandom that is saying the things that need to be said right now, you know, that's calling out the stuff that needs to be called out. That's a much more interesting way of saying in your bubble than I think a lot of people. Anyway, Doctor Who has also proven to be one of these top contributors to divisions of fandoms, to being these non-inclusive franchises where if you are wrong think, you are ostracized, labeled as a political affiliation, you are called every name under the sun, and trigger all the little snowflakes who don't like what anybody has to say, who don't like any criticisms, who have decided to come in and appropriate our entertainment, appropriate our pop culture, our fandoms, our franchises, everything from Doctor Who to Star Wars. And they have decided to come in and change it because they didn't actually like it. And they yell at you and they label you as being the one trying to gatekeep people. Sorry, if you liked the property, you would have liked it as it was, and you would not have needed to change it into something that only focuses on the outside superficial, you know, the stuff that people really can't change about themselves in a lot of cases. And the stuff that being upset with some people based on their superficial, that stuff shouldn't even matter. Why are we focusing on this? Because re and wah, that's why we're focusing on it. Because that's all we can do in this day and age. No, we're not reing. And I'm going to read a little bit. I got to almost nominate myself. No, I'm not going to be the Karen of the week. Dr. Karen can be the Dr. Karen of the week. Why is it that when I go and click on an article where they're telling me that the BBC has failed Jodie Whittaker as the Doctor, they're trying to get me to, I don't know, subscribe to this thing. They want me to get a free trial. So I can't even hear your opinion on why. And no wonder she's quitting. That's your headline. That's the headline up here. You can't really see. BBC has failed Doctor Who Jodie Whittaker. No wonder quitting. Doctor Who needs to get rid of its boys club and their mimsy female figurehead. So they don't like anybody. Where's the boys club? How about just cancel Doctor Who entirely if you don't like any aspect of it, right? Jodie Whittaker's talents have been wasted on Doctor Who, written as a needy little girl. Time for women to seize control of this fading show. This is why you don't cater to this crap, because they're further regressing by trying to paint these strong female characters in the worst way possible. The first whammon ever to lead Doctor Who is a long overdue development for this shape-shifting extraordinary alien. Yeah, who for some reason could only shapeshift into the body of a straight white man. Well, because that was a lot of what was representative. You like representation so much. That represented a lot of the UK at the time in the 1960s and 70s especially. It made up what? About half of them. About half of them, give or take. I do not have a problem with the fact that they gender swap the Doctor. I don't have a problem there. What I have a problem with is that you used the wrong time to do it. You should have done this 20 years ago. They probably should have done this when the Paul McGann era was going on. They probably should have done it then. They should have done it right at the series reboot instead of maybe Christopher Eccleston and then regenerated into, just to drum up attention and buzz. But no, they did the show the right way back then, which was just made a good fucking show. This show, this new modern day Doctor Who, is some of the worst, most boring, most incessantly bad drivel I have ever had the misfortune, displeasure, both of those things of sitting through. They're just wandering around, calling to each other in the dark. Sometimes they're on spaceships, sometimes they're in historic mansions, but they're wandering around calling to each other in the dark. And then when they're not doing that, they're coming in and out of the TARDIS. They go into the TARDIS, they come out of the TARDIS. They go back into the TARDIS, they come out of the TARDIS again.
Coming soon to BBC America, a bunch of assholes and a TARDIS. Watch them going into the TARDIS. Watch them walking out of the TARDIS. Popping in and out of random rooms. Seriously, this is like Bugs Bunny and Elmer Fudd in the Waiter sketch.
Pick up pie, Roger. Your pie, sir.
Do you like action, suspense, and intrigue? Well, too bad. Watch them talk about their feelings. Well, at least there's Captain Jack. Coming to whichever popular streaming service you happen to subscribe to. Or not, who cares?
Who cares? It is so boring and bad and insufferable. It is hard to sit through. They light it like a sappy soap opera. They give you all these fake, false, dramatic cues like you're supposed to feel something, which don't work. They did the same crap in Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman and Dr. Woke are pretty much the same damn thing. Just too much crap going on. And it is insulting to my intelligence as a woman that you can't do better as a writing team, as a production, than this garbage. This is the doctor we're talking about. She shouldn't even notice that she has a gender change. We shouldn't be dealing with that. That should be an afterthought, right? You know, the only people who should really notice are people like who've encountered the doctor before. Oh, you look different. And that's part of how they're handling it on the show when they're not being boring and garbage. They're not doing the actress any favors. And for all the people who are like, oh, you should give Jodie Whittaker more of a chance. I've given her 2 years, 2 seasons. I've already given her a chance. It's not her fault. It's the damn writing of the show. And now, speaking of Star Wars, another one where they could have just given us what we wanted. They could have just given us Luke Skywalker in the first place instead of going through this Last Jedi BS. Oh, all this backstory that we never saw. We never actually saw this, so we have no emotional connection to it. So we see the reaction of, oh, well, he was going to kill his nephew, Kylo. He was just Ben then, right? Luke was going to kill his nephew, and now he's a grumpy old man, and he lives off by himself, and he just wants to die. That's not our Luke. That's not the Luke that we have any attachment to. Last time we saw Luke, he was saving Vader from the dark side. And he was blowing up another Death Star. Well, his buddies were. You know what I'm talking about. I'm just rambling. So now all of a sudden, they're going to try and squeeze 2 things together that don't really mix. Doctor Who and Star Wars. Star Wars fans want Doctor Who's Jodie Whittaker to play Jedi Avar Kriss in a High Republic movie. She looks like her, she does, but you know who else might look like Avar Kriss?
See yourself on screen.
Yeah, you know, the one that doesn't care about little white dudes. That one. They want her to play it too, because she's been in talks to play stuff in Star Wars. They've been trying to sprinkle her in somewhere. They're just trying to find the right thing for her. I'm sure they're going to give her a big fat paycheck and she wants to be like the star of it. So if you're getting somebody for the High Republic, they probably are going to go with somebody who's going to troll the fans. Somebody from that side of the camp. That's where a lot of these are coming from. This is why you have the Mandalorian on one side of Star Wars for, you know, the old school fans. And you have all this High Republic garbage for the new fans. And we're going to talk about the High Republic also, because I guess that's just what this video is. They just want to troll everybody. What's the article? Star Wars fans want Doctor Who's Jodie Whittaker to play Jedi Avar Kriss in a High Republic movie. No. Are they really fans or are they just troll fans? There's the picture. There's a side-by-side. She looks like her. You're going to ruin her again with this. This is the exact same thing that I'm sure the other article was talking about, where they just take the first they took the first female doctor and they give her the worst scripts possible, being an insult to the character. You should have done better by her, by giving us the best stories and the most fun we've ever had in the TARDIS. But no, they made it all a bunch of, the mom of a preschooler takes grandpa and a couple of special, teenagers in crisis, I guess. How do they describe them? Troubled teens. on adventures to the playground. That's what it feels like with Doctor Who now. She feels like a kindergarten teacher or a mom of a preschooler. Because that's how they're writing a character. And nobody even realizes that the Doctor's in charge. You don't have like a take charge lead actress. Jodie Whittaker is great in other things that I've seen her in. Not in this. Not in this. Oh, and there's more to this. There's more to this High Republic stuff. This is why you don't want to insult Star Wars fans and Doctor Who. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. You don't want to reduce Jodie Whittaker to the part of Star Wars that doesn't even want fans. I didn't get a chance to cover this. This is all going to be in the same video because it's all related. This is all related. This will ruin Jodie Whittaker's career even more by being involved with this High Republic garbage, which is anti-fan. This is an anti-fan message. Justina Ireland tells Star Wars fans not to purchase the High Republic. Why? Because they don't like fans. They don't want money. They don't like, it's not for you. Oh, it's not for you. And that's exactly the wrong message that we got from Doctor Who in the first place. This whole, oh, well, it's not for you. If you don't like it, stop watching. Why are you watching? Why do you watch something you hate? Because I want it to be better than it is. Because I want to give critique and criticism, and I want to instruct these properties through my platform of YouTube and Twitter and anything I have to say, here's what I want as a fan. Here's the stuff I like on Doctor Who. Here's what I like in Star Wars. These are properties that I have grown up with my entire life. I'm older than I look. I was watching the Tom Baker stuff in reruns on PBS in the 80s and again in the 2000s. All right, with Doctor Who. I watched Star Wars as a kid, even though I don't remember much of it. I know that I heard stories of, this is why I say I'm pretty sure, of being in the theater watching Return of the Jedi. Though I probably remember E.T. more. Because Star Wars was a little scary. It was a little scary back then. Darth Vader was intimidating. But I never felt excluded, and I never felt it was talking down to me. This specifically tells me that you don't want us to buy your stuff. And if you attach Jodie Whittaker to that, that's going to ruin her career even more because she's going to be the other. She's going to be for that side. For that side. And that's what they want. That's what they want. They want to segregate and split off and divide and categorize all the viewing audiences based on what's going on today in the rest of the world, which we're not going to get into too much, but this is all related. This is all related. They're shuffling and filing. And if you're somebody who has a problem with the Jodie Whittaker Doctor or The Last Jedi or Star Trek Discovery, then you're labeled as this side and this, and then this is for them. This is for them. That's not how these franchises used to be. They used to be for everybody. They didn't come in and change them halfway through. They didn't come in and change them for the new fans. Meanwhile, excluding the older ones. Earlier this week, she took to Twitter where she wrote, I guess mediocre white men are still going to be on here bragging about their mediocrity, as though it's a hilarious anecdote instead of pure assholery. So thanks for establishing that baseline early 2021. What is this from? Ireland is telling Star Wars fans not to purchase the High Republic comes recently after she recently bashed white men. Now, it's first reported by Disney Star Wars is dumb. Hey, that's Ichibaka. Shout out to Ichibaka. And I'm using a Bounding into Comics article, so shout out to them too. Yeah, her bashing of white men in general came in response to a tweet thread from a podcast host, John Roderick, where he was challenged his 9-year-old daughter to open a can of beans with a can opener. I've heard a little bit about that. I was away for the last 2 weeks, so I didn't really get to talk about Bean Dad. Now, as first reported by Disney Star Wars is dumb, Ireland is telling Star Wars fans not to purchase the High Republic. Ireland responded to a tweet from Motherboard writer Jita Jackson. Jackson wrote, content creators, it used to be common folk wisdom to not share your political beliefs for fear of losing fans. How has the last 4 years changed that? Are you still afraid of losing your fans? You really kind of can't exclude fans based on their political affiliation. And that's what I'm seeing now. And if that's going to come off as biased one way or another, whose fault is that? That's certainly not my fault. That's the fault of people like this. If saying you have to include everybody automatically labels you as a supporter of a certain, whatever affiliation they want to label you as. That's where we're really headed to with a lot of this. In a follow-up, she wrote, Relatedly, if you're okay with culling your audience of assholes, do you have a secondary revenue stream, Patreon, or is it just ad revenue? Ireland responded, stating, "The problem is, if you don't like my politics and beliefs and my moral compass, you aren't going to like my books, so let's go ahead and save everyone some time." Gee, that sounds exactly like what the certain Marvel writer, Kelly Sue DeConnick, said.
And if you don't like my politics, don't buy my book.
If you don't like my politics, don't buy my book. Unfollow me on Twitter. And problem solved. Poof, it goes away. Well, so does your job. So do your jobs. Craigie Pants says, talk about shooting yourself in the foot. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. They're saying, don't watch my... And I can't help but have the viewpoint I have, and that tends to be off-putting to some of the people who want to cancel everybody, which, fine. I mean, my content isn't really specifically designed to be excluding them. I would kind of like for them to understand where a lot of other people are coming from and how it's not very progressive or inclusive. It's not really a diversity of thought. And they only see like about 10% of what they think they're understanding when there's a much bigger picture involved. And I'm going a little too hippie and new wave. Content creators, it used to be common folk wisdom to not share your, they misspelled, to not share your probably autocorrect, political beliefs for fear of losing fans. She added in a subsequent tweet, plus, there's like an Amazon warehouse or a Starbucks on every corner now, and I've had worse jobs, so YOLO. You don't insult the fans and you don't play into this division as shit, because it's going to ruin people's careers. It's going to ruin people's lives. The comic industry is already failing. Doctor Who is she already had to quit. According to this article here, I wish I could read it, but I'm not going to give them my email address for nothing. And they just want to pander to that little crowd. That little mob. This is the article here. They want to pander to the sort of people who are excluding the original fan base because they have a problem with the original fan base and the property, which just tells me they don't like the thing in the first place and they shouldn't be complaining and they should go and make their own stuff instead of trying to break our toys, because I don't like it when a bunch of snotless little brats come in and break my toys. I get very angry and they need to be punished for that. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. I am Mecha Random 42 and I'm going back to my live chat. Don't you guys go anywhere. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button. And if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye!